testing.
Check 1, 2, 1, 2.
Do we have the pretty pictures?
We need the pretty picture.
Pretty pictures flying in.
Good, okay. Is it in focus? Color's good?
Do we have the music?
How about sound effects?
Let's hear one.
Wow, okay, that's working.
Stand by.
And we are ready.
Hey everybody, welcome to the third lesson of the Value Up curriculum. This is failing correctly, and that'll make sense in a minute, but I want to give a shout out first of all to the schools that are joining us in this program right now, and that is Minden High School in Nebraska, Blue Hill in Nebraska, Riverside in Nebraska, Perkins County in Nebraska, also Centerburg, Ohio, and Twin Cedars in Iowa. Shout out to all you guys. Hope you're enjoying this, and more to come. So let's get into this today. We're going to be talking about failing correctly. One of the most important things you can do in your life is to handle failure in the right way. I heard a quote one time. Actually, I was sitting in the room and this author was speaking to a group of us, about 15 of us, and he said the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is what are you going to do after you fail? What do you do in that moment when you're in that situation where failure is hitting you? You know you made a mistake, whether it's morally or some kind of thing that you did that you know was wrong, or it didn't work out, missed the shot, failed the test, whatever. What do you do in that moment? And it really is a critical moment because failure can become your identity. And we're going to unpack that a little bit in this lesson, but failure can be, it can be part of your identity, or you can use it to push you and to propel you to be better. It's really the mindset and what how you handle failure. So this lesson is going to unpack a few things, mainly the mindset that you have to have when you do fail, because you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. And a lot of times, in my career working with teenagers, that's probably the critical moment for them is, you can really beat yourself up and get down on yourself and walk away, with shame or guilt. And it just puts you down and it keeps you from trying to take risks because you're so afraid of failure. You can't be afraid of failure. And so hopefully by the end of this lesson, you will learn those things. And so we'll see you on the other side. You'll see me again at the end of this lesson. All right. See you guys soon. Bye.
We all know the feeling of trying something new, the rush of possibility, the fear of what happens if we stumble. And yes, we will stumble. We'll forget the line, miss the shot, fall flat on the first attempt. But here's the truth. Mistakes don't take away your value. Failure doesn't define you. It refines you. Every wrong turn is a lesson. Every setback a chance to rise stronger. Each time we fall, we discover the courage it takes to get back up. Because your worth, it isn't measured by perfection. It isn't canceled out by flaws. It is steady, unshakable, unchanging. Your story is bigger than your worst moment. Your value is greater than your latest mistake. And your future is brighter than your failures. So go ahead. Try, risk, dare. Fall and rise again. Because who you are is more powerful than what you've been through.
Mistakes can't take away your value. Let's start with this. Your value is not based on performance, it's based on identity. That means no mistake, failure, or shortcoming has the power to touch your core worth. You are not your mess-ups. Failing does not make you a failure. Your worst moments isn't your whole story. You are not your mess-ups. A mistake is an event, not an identity. It's something that happened, not a label that defines your whole being. If we let every wrong step become who we are, none of us would stand a chance, because everyone messes up. You are not your mess-ups. Think about an athlete who misses a game-winning shot. Did that one miss erase their years of practice or their good plays they made earlier? Of course not. They're still an athlete, still valuable to the team, and still capable of greatness. You're the same way. Your missteps don't erase your worth. A mess up is like a single spilled drink at a party. Annoying, maybe embarrassing, but it doesn't ruin the entire gathering or erase the fact that the party was full of joy, laughter, and connection. Your mistakes might feel big in the moment, but they don't undo the bigger truth of who you are. Valuable, capable, and worthy.
Failing doesn't make you a failure. Failure is something that happens to you. It's not something you are. A failure is temporary. A failure identity is permanent, and that's not who you are. Growth comes when we separate the event, I failed, from the identity, I am a failure. Failure is an event, not a person. When you fail, it just means one attempt didn't go the way you hoped. It doesn't mean you're doomed or defined by it. The danger comes when we confuse what happened with who we are. If you can separate the two, failure becomes a teacher instead of a life sentence. Think of video games. You fail a level over and over, but the game never tells you you're a failure, give up. It simply invites you to try again, maybe with more wisdom this time. In real life, failing is just feedback that helps you adjust, not proof that you are broken. Value isn't earned, it's given. Imagine a $100 bill. If it's dropped in the mud, crumpled, or stepped on, it's still worth $100. Your value is like that. You were born with it. Nothing you've done or failed to do can cancel it out.
Your worst moment isn't your whole story. Life is a book, and a bad page doesn't erase the entire story. Your worst moment may feel heavy right now, but it's still just one chapter. You have more pages to write, and they can carry redemption, growth, and new strengths. Many people we admire had worse moments. Athletes suspended, artists rejected, leaders criticized, but history remembers them for what they built afterward, not just for their lowest points. Think of J.K. Rowling, rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter was printed. If her story ended at rejection, the world would have never known her work.
Mistakes and failures are events. They can shape you, but they can't define or erase your value. Who you are is bigger than what went wrong.
Imagine reading a novel. One tense, painful chapter might leave you unsettled, but you wouldn't toss the whole book away. You'd keep reading, trusting the story is going somewhere bigger. Your life works the same way. Your lowest moment is a page, not the whole book. You still have chapters left to write. Mess-ups are moments, not identities. Failure is feedback, not a definition. Bad chapters don't cancel out the whole book. Your value is permanent. Mistakes and failures are temporary teachers.
Everyone has chapters in their life they wish they could erase. But those chapters are just parts of the story, not the ending. What makes your story powerful isn't the absence of hard times, but the resilience, healing, and courage that comes afterward. Your worst moment might be the very thing that gives future victories their meaning. When you feel like a failure, you might be feeling shame right now, that heavy voice that says you're not enough. That voice is lying. Feeling bad doesn't mean you are bad. It means something hurts. You're allowed to hurt and still be valuable. Try this perspective shift. Instead of, I failed, so I'm worthless. Try, I failed, so I'm learning. I'm still valuable and still becoming. Opening night, spotlight. Devin walked on stage, ready to deliver his big line.
Only the line gone, like it packed a bag and went on vacation.
He just stood there, frozen. He was buffering.
And you could see the thought on his face. Well, guess I'm changing schools tomorrow.
But then someone whispered his line. Devin snapped back like, oh yeah, that's my line, and started.
Afterward, Devin was like, I ruined everything.
But the truth, everybody remembered how funny it was, and how brave he was for even getting up there.
Messing up didn't erase his courage. It made him human, and kind of hilarious.
You are not your mistakes.
One moment doesn't define your whole story.
Hey guys, I love watching that video. I know those kids. They're from East Jordan Middle and High School up there in Michigan. And so just seeing those guys on camera and doing that video is really cool for me because I know them all. So, hey, so here's the deal. I want to just go over some of the things you learned today and give my comments on it. The first thing I like a lot is when it says failure can't change your core worth. Your failure can't change your core worth. That's a huge mindset shift that you have to have, because sometimes we go right to that devastating thought pattern, right? Like, oh my God, I made a mistake. I'm done. I'm a loser. I'm a failure because of that. And that's not true. It can't change your core worth. Also, failing doesn't make you a failure, right? That's important. That's another mindset shift. My failure doesn't make me a failure, right? A mistake is an event, not an identity. It's not an identity, and that's what happens. Sometimes we get labeled by people and we label ourselves, right? We go, "Oh, I'm this now because I made this mistake," and you can't do that. A mistake is temporary. It's not an identity shift is permanent, right? So if you go into that mindset where you're going to be like, "Well, I'm this now," that becomes more permanent. But a mistake, if you look at it like that, it's an event. It happened, right? Because who you are is bigger than what you did or what mistake you made. Who you are as a person and the full body of work of who you are as a human being is not defined by one mistake that you made, right? And I like this a lot. History remembers people for what they did after they failed, right? If you look at all the great people in the world, none of them were without failure. They all had failure. Some people, talk about it more. And to be honest with you, my heroes, my personal heroes, are people that I know have failed and got back up again, owned their failure, didn't, try to shove it off on other people or make excuses for it, but they embraced it, got back up, and kept going. And I love that. Your mistake might be the thing that gives future victories more meaning. I love that because the process of growth means that I'm going to make mistakes, right? So you're going to make those mistakes, and then all of a sudden you get a victory. You see something happen that you might have learned from those mistakes, and it gives those mistakes more meaning, right? It gives them, way more meaning. And so you got to switch that mindset from I failed, so I'm worthless, to I failed, so I'm learning, right? The mindset is I feel I must be worthless, to, you know what, I'm learning, I'm growing. It's evidence that I am growing. One of the things that I have learned, and I always tell people when I'm coaching them, is, quick down, quick up. Quick down, quick up. I've heard that from church, people in church told me that. People in schools have told me that. Education has told me that. Basically, quick down, quick up means if I make a mistake, yeah, that's a fall. You feel bad, but don't stay there. Don't stay in shame. Don't stay in guilt. Just get right back up and keep going after your dream and after, what you want in your life. So hopefully this has helped you. And so we will see you on the next lesson. See you guys. Stay warm. Bye.